Let's make elote, or Mexican street corn. Okay, first step is we're gonna steam our corn. Once your corn is cooked, get a stick. I'm just gonna brush that with mayo. Now some cotija cheese, some tahin. If you like it spicy, some Valentina, and some cilantro. This is how you make Filipino-style barbecue. Look at how beautiful that is. Okay, we'll be using this beautiful pork butt or pork shoulder. We're gonna cut this in smaller pieces. About this big and 1/4 inch thickness. Okay, let's make the barbecue sauce. Ketchup. I'm using tomato ketchup, but you can also use banana ketchup, soy sauce, minced garlic, salt and pepper, brown sugar, and mix. Alright, save a cup of marinade and we're gonna use this for basting. Alright, once all your meat is cut, put in the marinade. Now we're gonna let this marinate in the fridge overnight. I like to have a fatty bite at the end, so I'm gonna put that first. I like to skewer my barbecue tightly, so that way the meat stays juicy and it doesn't burn quickly. Turn the skewers every now and then for an even cook. Once you see the barbecue is a little charred, then we're gonna baste the barbecue sauce we saved earlier. And when it's done, it should look like this. Now I like to dip in our Filipino-style spicy vinegar. Let's make Alfredo lasagna. To be completely transparent, I did not expect this to be this good. But here we are. Alright, now we have our chicken. I'm using thighs because I'm a thigh guy, but you can also use breast. I'm just gonna season this with kosher salt, some black pepper, and garlic powder. I'm gonna be baking mine, but you can also pan sear, air fry, or grill. Do whatever you want. Alright, for the sauce, add your butter. You're gonna let that melt. Then add your garlic, pinch of salt, and add your flour. Cook the flour for about 3 to 5 minutes on low heat. Then we're gonna add our heavy cream. Bring this to a boil, but stir constantly. You don't want this to burn. Once it starts bubbling, immediately lower the heat. Now add your Parmesan cheese. We're gonna add a bit of water. Season with chicken powder. Once your chicken is cooked, just chop it in cubes. Okay, time for assembly. I'm gonna put my sauce first. Lasagna that we cooked earlier. Another layer of sauce, our chicken, and one final layer of cheese. Now we're gonna bake this in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now add some parsley so you don't have to exercise later. Let's make ube pie. I love Jollibee, but this is probably better. First thing you'll need, puff pastry. I like to roll it out a little bit. Then the ube jam that we made in the previous videos, you can look it up in my profile. Add the filling, fold it, seal it up with a fork, clean up the edges. Then we're just gonna fry it. Ube condensed milk. You can also use regular condensed milk, of course. That is phenomenal. Let's make ham and cheese croquettes. Okay, first step, peel your potatoes, then cut in 1/4 inch rings. And we're gonna let this simmer until fork tender. And I have some parsnips. You can also use carrots or mushrooms, whatever vegetable you like. Onion. Okay, medium heat, some oil, and some butter. Some salt and pepper. Once the potatoes are cooked, we're gonna mash it. And we're gonna add the parsnips and onions. Put some salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and a touch of cayenne. Now we got some mozzarella cheese. We're just gonna wrap it nice and tight. Just grab yourself a ball of mashed potatoes, put your ham and cheese, form it into a nice even oval shape. And we're gonna let this chill in the fridge for 30 minutes. Now for our batter, flour, 2 eggs, and water. Put in the batter. Now straight to the panko. Now it should look like this. This is how you make Filipino garlic fried rice, or sinangag. This is possibly the easiest fried rice recipe you'll find on this app, but one of the best. Okay, for this recipe, you're gonna need lots of garlic. Be very careful. Alright, medium heat, add some oil, throw in your garlic, add your rice. Add some garlic powder, salt to taste, black pepper. This is how you make Chipotle Ranch. Make the sauce, mayo, sour cream or yogurt, powder, lime juice, some salt, and of course Chipotle. 2 peppers, not the whole can, and we're gonna blend. Some of that Chipotle sauce from the can, some dill, and some mint, since I have it. Add it to the ranch. And this is how you make Chipotle Ranch. This is how you make the curry of life from Naruto. Oh, that's spicy. This is painfully delicious. Medium heat, add some oil, sear the beef. Alright, in the same pot, cook your onions. Add your ginger and your garlic. Now I'm going to add paprika for color. And I'll be using this curry powder. We're gonna add the butter and the flour. Since we want it really spicy, I'll be using 5 ghost chili peppers. Grated apple, stock cube, totally optional, but I like to blend the sauce. Add the beef back, and we're gonna let it simmer until the beef is nice and tender. Once the meat is nice and tender, add your carrots and potatoes, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, and honey. If you can't handle the heat, just don't put ghost peppers, it will still be just as delicious. This is how you make ube milkshake. So good. Alright, to make the milkshake, vanilla ice cream. If you can find ube ice cream, even better. Milk, ube extract, and some ube jam. Some sugar to taste. Then blend. Spicy honey garlic chicken. Sweet, sticky, thick, and pretty. What else would you want? Alright, we're gonna make our brine. Seasonings. To get your loins wet. Now put this in the fridge for at least an hour. For the wet batter, make this an hour ahead of time as well. For our seasoned flour, spices. Our tenderloin has been drained and dried. Plain flour, wet batter, and into the seasoned flour. Press hard, then immediately fry your chicken. Fry for the second time for 1 to 2 minutes. Let's make our honey garlic sauce. Butter, add your garlic, cook it for 3 to 4 minutes, then a teaspoon of paprika. Get that color. Add your honey and soy sauce. A tablespoon of hot chili flakes, half a teaspoon of salt. Paint your masterpiece. Now for our homemade blue cheese dressing. Let's make Filipino style spiced vinegar. Onion, cut with the grain. Lots of garlic. Vinegar, then salt and sugar. Now find a nice glass bottle to store your vinegar, or use a mason jar preferably. Add your garlic, now your onions, then the Thai chili peppers, black peppercorns, then add your vinegar. You can use this after 3 days, but preferably wait a week. Now you can use this sauce with anything. Lumpia, kwek-kwek, fish balls, anything fried really. Garlic butter broccolini. Looks like someone glued broccoli and asparagus together. Okay, here's our broccolini. 2 ways to prep this. You can cut the end, or you can just peel the skin. That way you can eat more of what you paid for. Alright, first things first, we are going to blanch the broccolinis. Once it's bright green like this, you can take it out. Some oil, some butter, garlic, kosher salt, add some lemon juice. This is how you make a melon milkshake. This is definitely one of my favorite things to drink in the summer. So refreshing. Alright, you can't have a melon shake without melon or cantaloupe. Give this a rough chop. You're gonna blend it anyways. Doesn't matter. Fresh milk, condensed milk or sugar to taste. You can also use condensed milk and sugar. This is how you make ginger salad dressing. You know the salad dressing you always get at a Japanese restaurant? Well, this is it. Okay, for the dressing, peeled apples, onion, ginger, garlic, neutral oil, sugar, kosher salt, carrots, rice vinegar, water, and some mayo. And we're gonna blend. Now get your favorite salad. Let's make Taiwanese style roasted sweet potato. Since it's frozen, it's like ice cream. It's delicious. I first learned this from Chef George, and when I saw it, I just had to try it. It's so cool. Okay, so we're gonna take our clean sweet potatoes and we're gonna roast it for 1 hour. We are using Asian sweet potato. It's different from yams. As you can see, it shrunk inside. Now we're gonna let the sweet potato cool down before we put it in the freezer. After it's been frozen, you can eat it as is, or you can heat it up in the microwave for 30 seconds. So you peel the skin. This is what happens when you roast it. The natural sugar of the sweet potato caramelizes. It becomes so gooey, creamy. Oh, it's delicious. But not all sweet potatoes are created equal. So this one didn't caramelize at all, and it cooked the same time. I think it depends on the sugar content of the sweet potato. So roast a few. Hopefully you get some that's actually caramelized, but it's still good. This is how you make summer peach vinaigrette. Panera wishes they make dressing as good as this. Okay, to start the dressing, get your peach. You just want to rough chop it. Equal parts of rice vinegar and oil. Some sugar to balance the vinegar. A touch of salt and white pepper. Blend this up. Now just get any vegetable you like. Add your peach dressing. Let's make lumpia. Garlic. Green beans, bean sprouts. I like to keep the tips, but you can take it out. Alright, butternut squash. Cut the squash in little cubes. Doesn't have to be perfect. Add some oil. Add your onions and garlic. And add whatever protein you want. You can obviously keep it vegetarian, but I still like to put a little bit of protein in it. Cube, garlic powder, green beans and squash. Now get your favorite wrapper. Filling. Careful not to overfill it. Fold both sides. Get the other end. Tuck it as tight as possible. Add some water. And it should look something like this. Right. Now dip it in our spicy vinegar sauce. Let's make creamy tomato soup. Oh, tomatoes. Chop in quarters. Lots of garlic. Give it a rough chop. Onion. Okay, place in a baking sheet, olive oil, and kosher salt, and black pepper. We're gonna roast this to concentrate the tomato flavor. Medium heat, add some oil and some butter. Add your onions and some thyme, paprika, and some chili flakes. Then add your roasted tomatoes. Add your chicken stock. Okay, now remove the thyme. Add some cream. Add some fresh basil. Just adjust for seasonings. This is how you break down a whole chicken with zero waste. Okay, so we have our chicken here. First things first, we're gonna cut this skin right here. Both sides. I like to separate the body and the legs at this point. Your knife. We're just gonna cut this in half. Now all you have to do is find that line. Try your best to find where the joint is. Just cut it. No, just cut. For the wing, you see where that fold is? You're gonna want to cut right there. Cut around it, and you'll find the joints. Now you only have the breast. I like to cut the spine. See there? With your knife, just. We have our two breasts, our two wings, two thighs, and you have your two drums. This is how you make shepherd's pie. This is actually really good. Finally mince your onions. Now grate your garlic. We're also grating our carrot. Starting with cold water, cook your potatoes. Cook in medium-high heat, add your oil. Cook our lamb. Drain the fat, add the onions. Tomato puree. Now add your Worcestershire sauce. Now add some thyme and rosemary. We're gonna add water. Beef bouillon cube. Now we're gonna let this simmer until it reduces. Once it's reduced, I'm gonna add some green peas for some color. Your potatoes, mash it. Season it with kosher salt, lots of garlic powder, some black pepper. Gordon Ramsay puts Parmesan cheese in his, so I'm doing that. Final step is to add 3 egg yolks. Give that a good mix. With your lamb filling, potato. And we're gonna bake this for about 20 minutes. Let's make honey walnut shrimp with a tiny twist. We have our shrimp seasoned with salt and pepper, flour, egg, and water. Now dip it in plain flour to our batter, then fry. Okay, for the sauce, mayo, condensed milk, and honey. Lemon juice. Okay, medium heat, add your walnuts and your garlic. If you like spicy, add some chili peppers. Now place in a bowl and season with a pinch of salt. Okay, traditionally you candy the walnuts with honey or sugar, but I pan fry this with garlic and chilies and season with salt just to balance the sweetness. Give it a nice toss, add in your walnuts and the garlic and everything else. This is how you make the fluffiest egg sandwich ever. It simply melts in your mouth. Okay, for this egg custard, we are going to need lots and lots of eggs. 15 eggs, milk, chicken powder or mushroom powder. We're gonna chop some spring onions all over the eggs. Wrap it in foil. After an hour, she is done. Brioche bun, our egg custard. Alright, American cheese. Use whatever cheese you like, okay? Look at that soft and smooth egg. Ever since I had this in New York, I had to copy.